The latest addition to the ensemble of diverse heroes to play as in Overwatch would in fact be Sombra. The mysterious Mexican hacker, formerly a member of the Los Muertos group, has been in the sights of many Overwatch theorists since the early access days of the game. As of the 4th of November, she was formally introduced into the Overwatch universe, and not long after, was playable to the eager fans. After playing numerous hours with her, I've got to say, I really like her. Like, a lot. I think I just click with her. Kicking some ass, hacking some fools, she is certainly welcome on my watch. With that being said, she has a lot of interesting gear that seems a little far-fetched in our real world. Right? Well, I'm going to ask and hopefully answer a very interesting question. Is she real, or should I say, is her elite hacking gear and abilities possible today? Let's get to it, shall we? To begin with, let's take a look at her main source of firepower. Well, technically, her only true source of firepower when you think about it. Her machine pistol. Depending on the entry point, it can produce 2.4 to 8 damage per shot, and you get a lot of that in a short time span. The machine pistol fires at roughly 20 rounds per second, being 1200 a minute, and by god, that is a lot of bloody bullets. It's the main reason I believe her to be such a great counter to tanks, just draining their health away like nobody's business. So, guns, they're pretty real, but there are so many to pick from. Which one is Sombra's? In comes the machine pistol from Heckler & Koch, the MP7. It has a very similar visual design to Sombra's machine pistol, which is why it was my first guess of the real world variant. What else matches up is the way it functions. As I've already mentioned, Sombra's gun fires a heck of a lot of bullets in a short amount of time, which is exactly what the MP7 is prone to doing as well. Despite being known to be highly accurate in short bursts compared to numerous other machine pistols, the MP7 is known to keep a stable accuracy going at full pelt. Visually, you can see that it works in almost the exact same way as our hero's weapon of choice. In a real world, the MP7 fires 4.6 by 13mm rounds at a fair rate, but sadly it's still a little slower than Sombra's weapon, which I may add is subject to change in future updates. Anyway, the MP7 roughly fires at 950 rounds per minute, which is 250 rounds short of Sombra's firearm, but I guess we could let this slide considering it still fires bloody fast. Next up is Sombra's thermoptic camouflage. Basically, when she activates it, she turns invisible and gains more momentum while using this ability. Although it isn't the most useful when trying to escape a large-scale engagement, considering the ability halts as soon as you take any damage, it can work well at getting Sombra places faster and maybe flanking opponents around a less active lane in the map. In the game, it lasts 6 seconds with another 6 seconds to recharge, but in real life, it's almost unlimited. Well, sorta. Take this all with a pinch of salt here, considering there is no proper video proof, only images, but the Hyperstealth Biotechnology Corporation, a company that has a large share in the world's camouflage market, has produced a work-in-progress design for the future. It's still in its prototype phase, or we would have probably seen someone use it, or not, considering that's its main function, to hide someone, in a way. So, what is it? Well, it's literally an invisibility cloak. It's designed to bend the light around the individual wearing it, making them essentially invisible unless you get up all in their business. It would be cutting edge for snipers performing reconnaissance in specific areas while requiring some discreetness on the job, or say a pilot has to take a leap out of their crashing plane into enemy territory. This cloak, if successfully used, could save their life. There is some footage that was leaked concerning an individual appearing from thin air whilst running towards a tank, which is reportedly the cloak being in use. However, no official confirmation has cropped up just yet. It could just be some movie magic. As for how it could work with Sombra, well, it couldn't make any individual any faster or more agile, however it could make them disappear and allow them to reevaluate the situation from another attack on opponents. Moving on from being invisible, which is still pretty new to our world, to something that goes on almost every day. Hacking. However, the hacking that Sombra does as her ability isn't your typical hack into a system and gather data or steal money, etc. It's essentially a way of disabling her opponent's abilities, in a way that an EMP would shut down electrical devices in an area. Conveniently, her ultimate is called EMP, and is essentially an immediate hack on everyone in a 10-meter radius, so I'll kinda combine them here. In my opinion, it's one of the lower tier ultimates unless used with precise timing, however it's also one of the more realistic ones. As I mentioned in my Deus Ex Tech episode, we can hack into devices today, and people do it on a regular basis. But as I mentioned, the ability in the game acts exactly like an electromagnetic pulse. I know it's not exactly a handheld weapon that someone like Sombra could carry around, but bear with me. In come Boeing with their counter-electronics high-powered microwave advanced missile project, otherwise known as CHAM. What is it? Well, it's a missile that can be fired from a specifically kitted out aircraft or from a setup on the ground. The missile is a non-lethal one, and its purpose is to travel across a target region and at specific points use a concentrated electromagnetic pulse that will take out all electronics and most communication from a building without any structural damage. It's the next leap in Black Ops technology, allowing for special forces to enter an area or even a building without any targets communicating properly. Although we've had EMPs for a while now, this more concentrated advancement will allow allied forces to participate in combat operations in urban areas without worrying or putting innocent civilians in danger. I know what you're thinking, Sombra ain't gonna carry a missile on her back, but I thought it was an interesting alternative, and you never know, she could contact a few people and get one sent out at a moment's notice, because these things go in and out of their target areas pretty darn fast. Last but certainly not least would be Sombra's Translocator. It's a throwable device that can be activated within 15 seconds of throwing it, and once activated, Sombra is pretty much teleported to its current location. But teleportation is just a science fiction fantasy. It isn't real, right? Well, that's what I thought. However, Professor Hansen from the Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands and his team have made some stunning progress. Theoretically, they formed a way to teleport things from point A to point B, but right now in practice, they need to take baby steps. And by baby steps, I'm not trying to talk down their work at all. It's incredible. But they're beginning the practical side with transferring data from one point to another. In Professor Hansen's experiment, 3 entangled particles, a nitrogen atom locked in a diamond crystal and 2 electrons, were used to transfer spin information a distance of 3 meters. 4 possible forms were transmitted, each corresponding to their own quantum bit of data. The end result? Well, apparently they've sourced a secure way of transferring data, with Hansen saying, the information is teleported to the other side, and there's no way anyone can intercept that information. In principle, it's 100% secure. And the icing on the cake, every time they tried this out, it worked. I know some of you may not be super impressed by that, but it is great news for big sci-fi fans out of you. Strides towards making teleportation possible is happening right now in the Netherlands. And maybe, just maybe, someone will make it possible on a large scale in our lifetime. So that's pretty goddamn awesome. So, that was my video on some cool technology behind Sombra in Overwatch. Hopefully you enjoyed it and are excited for the possibilities our future holds. I do apologise if my voice sounds a little more off than usual. I've been bunged up with a cold this past week. I did however take advantage of that and got in a few games of Overwatch playing as Sombra, and boy, I love her. If you've not had a shot of her yet, I'd recommend giving her a try because she is so fun to play as, just kicking ass, sticking names, doing what I love to do. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you've not done so already. And make sure to check us out on Twitter at ShoddyCast, or check me on Twitter at StalliesMilitia. I've got more interesting topics to come next week and beyond, so make sure to stick around or even check us out on Patreon for early access to our awesome stuff. I hope you liked this video. My name is Andrew, or Stally111, and I'll see you all later.